Hey there, Steve next to me with Freejazzlessons.com. Thanks for joining me here for today's video. All right, today we're gonna look at one of the most simple ways, beginner ways of improvising over a 2-5-1 chord progression, which is, by the way, the most important chord progression you'll see in jazz music. So a lot of times when we first start learning jazz, it can feel like there's a million different things we have to learn and there's a mountain of information and it's like, oh God, this is crazy. It feels like it's almost sometimes too much. So, where's a beginner supposed to start? What's a simple way we can start thinking about beginning improvisation? So today we're going to look at this melodic technique. It's simple, but it's really soulful, it's musical, and you can use this as a starting point, a framework to start adding more and more skills, more information. This is an art form that you can really study for many lifetimes. There's never a shortage of fantastic things to learn, but this is going to be a great starting point for you. All right, let's head over to the piano right now and get started learning. Thanks. All right, welcome to the piano. So we're going to be in the key of C here for this mini lesson because it's a good teaching key, but I would highly recommend that you master these concepts in as many keys as you can. All right, so our chords we're going to be playing over here are D minor 7, G7, C major 7. That's our 2-5-1. And then we're going to add one more chord. We'll add an A7 just to reset it if we decide to start looping it here. Now, before we move on, don't worry if you don't know the exact voicings that I just played there. It doesn't matter. You can play really any voicing you want. You can even just play a root in your left hand for these chords. What matters is this next melodic concept I'm about to show you. Okay. So if we're soloing over our 2, what you can do, and this part is really the coolest part about this here, is that you can actually repeat the same melodic idea that you play over the 2, that you play on the 5, and that you play on the 1. So watch here. What if I did something like this? And then maybe I go elsewhere. So et cetera, right? But you heard as I was repeating it. You can do the same thing on each chord, all right? Great little melodic thing. It's something to draw your listeners in because, I love scales and I love arpeggios and I love bebop stuff just as much as everybody. But if all you're doing all the time is just... I mean, that's fine, for maybe a short while, but eventually your listeners are going to tune out. It gets a little bit boring. You want to be able to mix and match, right? It's like every once in a while just dropping this little piece of melody and it draws those listeners in. They love hearing that sound, okay? And it's an easy first step for your improvisation. All right, if you had fun with this little simple improvisation tip, but you want to learn more about jazz piano, and especially if you're a beginner, we actually have a course that I highly recommend. It's called the 0 to Jazz Piano Hero, and it literally takes you step by step from 0 to playing songs you love in 30 to 60 days. Teaches you all the chords you need to know and all the theory formulas and how to practice, develop your rhythm, and how to start putting all this information together so you can have more fun at the piano. So I highly recommend 0 to Jazz Piano Hero. And if you're a little bit more advanced and you want to learn more about improvisation, we also have another fantastic course we recommend, and it's called the Jazz Improvisation Super System, and that's taught by jazz master David Garfield, who's played with George Benson and David Sanborn and Eddie Van Halen and Freddie Hubbard and a huge list of very famous musicians. David breaks down step by step his whole improvisational formula. It really is a fantastic course, and I recommend both courses if you want to have more fun with jazz piano. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at Freejazzlessons.com.